see the pile of power Carol got out of that?
Yes, I do.
Her
I
energy?
absolutely do.
She'll move to there. Gonna spend 4 for a binary form. She's gonna shoot Star-Lord. It'll be 6 dice energy with the reroll. Rolling the crits. 8.
Carol's actually like kind of good. Yeah, this is Dick Tech that is paying off in spades.
Super Saiyan.
All right, everyone, we made it. We're at the Carol Danvers stream. I'm Lucas, and here we go. So I'm the host this evening, and today I'm drinking part of the drinking stream. Here we go. So I drink 3 times a year. It's let's see here. Do we have Kurtis on here? Let's see. Do I have you guys?
Where am I, Lucas?
Oh
Oh yeah,
no.
we all floated. That was Vic.
Oh no!
You
You
can't
know-
silence
Wait, hold on.
me.
Hold on.
I'm still there. There we go.
We're figuring this out. All right. We're doing it live. Fuck it. We're doing it live. Okay.
Hey,
All right.
there we
Perfect.
go.
Perfect. All right. All right. I drink 3 times a year. I drink Halloween, New Year's, and on the Carol Danvers stream. All right. So I'm drinking
the annual Carol Danvers
and-
stream.
Yeah. So today I'm drinking a
Yeah.
Smirnoff Ice, and here we go. Today I have some other Marvel Crisis Protocol players with me here. 2 of them are highly regarded in the community, and I also have Kurtis here too. So today, Sooner, how's it going, man? And what are you drinking?
It's going well. I am drinking Shiner Bock. This is a Texas beer. So I had to represent the state of Texas since that is where I'm from. So I am going to have a little Shiner while we talk about the greatest model ever to grace MCP.
Awesome. And Hyperviper, how's it going? What are you drinking?
It's going good. I just got off work. I rushed back to be on time for the most important stream of the year, and I got myself a Steel Reserve from the corner store.
Awesome. Kurtis, I mean, I kind of know how it's going, but what are you drinking? How's it going?
All right, look, let's not waste any time here. We're going to be drinking today a drink that was inspired by the OG Carol. We're going to be drinking an old fashioned. You know, none of this new garbage, right? This is an old fashioned. So we're in for a treat today. We're going to teach you all on stream how to make a OG Carol Danvers old fashioned, right? So first of all, take your glass, because Carol can be a glass cannon sometimes. We don't like those physical attacks. Get a lot of ice. She's really good under Emma Frost. All right, I got some Johnny Walker Black Label whiskey. We're going to put that in. Why Johnny Walker? Sometimes when a character has no action economy, you got to walk her up and shoot some people with it, right? We got to shoot some people. Now, what's next? All right, we got some bitters, because I'm still really bitter that I lost my league game last night, and I'm still pretty pissed off about it. So we're going to put some more bitters in there. What else we got? Simple syrup, right? None of this bullshit. Transform card, 2 models, 1,800 lines of text. I like my nice simple Carol Danvers here. And finally, we're going to top it off with a slice of grapefruit, whole grapefruit, right? None of this size 2 orange garbage when it comes to Carol. We got a size 4 grapefruit in here, and that's the Carol Danvers Old Fashioned. Thanks everyone for joining us today, and we're looking forward to a great time together.
Awesome. That's that's wonderful. So we're gonna jump right into it, guys. We're here for one reason only, to talk about OG Captain Marvel. I've got the card on the screen. No sense in reading it off. That's boring. So we're just gonna go right into it and talk about why Carol is great. Hyperviper, what do you think of OG Carol?
Oh, man, your timing sucks. Oh, hold on. Oh. Sorry, some Canadian asked me to do something. um, Carol's cool.
That was
She's a
perfect
very-
timing.
She's an incredibly uninviting attacker, or uninviting target to attack when you're playing fucking whatever they're called, energy bitches, the dudes from space. So, like, if you have uninviting models to attack, such as Carol, it makes it harder to play the game. Oh, she's a really good counterpiece. Like, do you play her every game? Obviously, yes. The reason why you don't play her every game is because if you don't, then you lose, like Kurtis. But you, yeah, she's great. Like, she obviously is one of the best characters on Demons, and I don't think that's really like arguable. Even if you take away the whole like she fights like a champ, size 4 throw is cool. Anyway,
Sooner, what do you think?
I mean, she's kind of the angel of MCP, right? I mean, the girl's got reverse pierce. I mean, I don't know if anybody's heard of a character that's recently out there named Cosmic Ghost Rider, but
who's that?
yeah, he has an energy attack. He'll use it once or twice a game, so that really helps when it comes to defense. She flies. You know, she doesn't walk anywhere, Kurtis. She flies wherever she wants to. And she's rerolls attack rolls. Who doesn't like rerolls? That is, you know, hands down one of the strongest things in MCP. Not to mention the fact that when she goes binary on TTS, she lights up. Who doesn't like that? I mean, the
Hell
best
yeah.
model on TTS right there.
It's actually objectively correct. I do wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, I mean, there's just I've only said about a tenth of it, but I'm gonna go ahead and let my man Kurtis finish. So,
Kurtis, why Captain Marvel?
Well, I mean, who's the most played model in the game right now? Right?
Captain
Some
Marvel.
horse?
No, it's Captain
Some
Marvel.
Well, it better be. I mean, you've basically got a card that says, I can do all the things the horse guy can do, except hit harder, walk up and throw things, right? Switch into binary form, go crazy. Like, I don't know. What's better than having one Beta Ray bill? It's having two Beta Ray bills. And that's what she does. And it's not just Cosmic Ghost Rider, right? Crimson Dynamo, he wants you within 3 of him. She can shoot from outside that. He doesn't like energy attacks. She can shoot those into him. You know, he tries to shock her. She just says, no, you can't do that anymore. Malekith, he can't pierce her pierces anymore, and she can throw him back. I mean, all these big, horrible things that are out there, she just destroys them all. And you get to run Bill as well.
you know that little raccoon in that tree that he likes to run around with? Get out of here! All right, get out of here.
Yeah, that's right. They can get pretty dusted pretty hard with Groot rolling crappy energy defense, and yeah, like see you later. Rocket does shit all.
I tell you
Yeah.
what,
And
I play
let's be real here for a minute. We could sit here and complain about these models being broken and Guardians being too good, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you want to take a D tier 4-threat character and wipe a team out with them, like I did Hyper in our top 32 game. I mean, what gets better in MCP than that?
Gotta feel good. That's gotta
I
feel
got
good.
shot a lot. Yeah, it sucked. It's true. Because like my plan was like I'm just gonna ignore it. It's just Captain Marvel, and then he's binarying, getting like attack off a turn at least, just blasting me. And you like, sure you can counter shot her with CGR, but the odds of you doing damage are like not great.
She powers up more than he powers up.
Yeah.
You're getting like 1 or 2, you're not gonna kill her, right? Whereas some characters, he's like, oh, I have 4 health, but there's a CGR there. I'm not gonna do anything.
Yeah, so we're gonna. All right, so that's great. I think everyone is on the same page here that Captain Marvel OG is quite the boss. What a boss bitch, as it were. And so we're gonna talk about what led us to discovering this fact, and so we're just gonna lead right into it. So Sooner, you decided to bring her with your Inhumans list into WTC. And so, what were the thoughts? How did you find her? How did you discover Carol, and how did she fit in your list?
That's a good question. So, try to make a long story short. I basically ended up on Inhumans for WTC after the errata changes. And I, told my teammates that they could take all their models first and I would take, whatever is available after that. And so I got looking and I played a game or two and got looking at models I might want to include. And first one was Apex, who was great. I loved Apex. He's great with Inhumans because you can power him up and pounce and throw all day long. And I got looking and I was like, there's gonna be we're gonna need somebody who can maybe play into Cosmic. None of my teammates want to play into him. We need someone who can play into Guardians, and just did a little cerebro scanning, and I came upon one of my favorite models in the game, and this is the truth. I really was a big Captain Marvel fan, and I said, let me reread, and I read her card, and I was like, boom, this is it. I can keep her in binary because I'm in humans. I'll just pass her power. She's going to be a 5/6/5 reverse piercing. Any kind of wild eye roll, she reverse pierces on energy. I was like, bring those guardians on, bring those CGRs on, and so it's funny. So I tested it out, put it in the list, and the first game I played was against Dizzard, and he's running X-Force. And it was on meteors, and I was like, let's give it a try. Cable shoots energy, things like that. And it wasn't even like a top tier Captain Marvel matchup, and she just dunked him. I mean, she threw a size 4 into Deadpool, killed him. She binaried and then double shot like Cable and killed him. And I was like, oh boys, this is real. This is real. And so I kept testing her, and this is not a lie. Every time I tested her, she was the best model on my table. And I think the Inhumans leadership had a lot to do that because I basically could keep her in she's not Captain Marvel, she's binary Captain Marvel. She was in binary round 2 until the end of the game, pretty much. And like you do that, and she's a whole different beast. And that's how I kind of found her. In testing, it went well, and I was sold right there.
Oh, that's awesome. So Kurtis, second win happened at the same time as WTC, and so you how did you discover Captain Marvel? Where did this come from? And yeah, tell me about it.
Someone else said she was good on Discord, and then I tried her, and she was great.
Okay, and then what?
Yeah. No, all right. So if we want to get real technical here, I have a game on your stream, Lucas, where I thought it was going to be really clever, and I was going to run my Hellfire list with Amazing Spider-Man and Crimson Dynamo and Okoye, and I was just going to re-roll all those Guardians dice that they were trying to kill me with Witty Banter and Dynamo's thing. And what I realized very quickly was that entire Guardians team shoots outside of range 4, or outside of the range 3 bubble that ASM and Dynamo can put out there. So it was kind of upsetting because I just got shot up and it didn't work. Okoye died way too fast to those ranged attacks. And I thought, well, this isn't going to work very well. I need a 19-point team. I've got, Beta Ray Bill, Emma, Crimson Dynamo, Luke Cage. I need 4 more points. And I need someone for Hellfire leadership that can stand on a demon portal. So I looked at Voodoo. It's like, he got nerfed, whatever. And then someone on Discord, they said, what about Carol? What about OG Carol Danvers? And I thought, well, I've played her in A-Force. She's really good under those leaderships that can feed her a bunch of power like Inhumans. And so like Sooner said, I started trying her in kind of test games where I was like, playing into the worst Cosmic Ghost Rider list I could play, and she was just crushing people. And I'm like, there's kind of no way this is real, like this can't be this good. And so I started taking her in a few games in the TTS league. I won my round 6 game to make cuts into a Defenders team, playing her on Research Station at 15 with Bill. And I think I realized like just having 2 size 4 throws, all that range, a bunch of characters no one wants to shoot into, you can heal stuff off of her. it was really good, and then became very entertaining for me, feeling like, this character that's so widely regarded as being bad is like literally the perfect answer for the biggest weakness of my list. So that was very exciting.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you guys put in a bunch of testing for Marvel, and you just you found out how dope she is, and then you come into the events that you're playing and you've been practicing for. You bring her in as a tech piece that basically very few people are even advocating for this model, and then you end up playing her in your event. So sooner, you played her. I think you played her in the game against the Guardians, your last round. Did you play her in any other games, or was she brought in for that tech spot?
Nah, well, I would have loved to play her more, but I faced like a million Immortal Hulks, and that's not a matchup that I would say you bring Carol to. Um, but no, I brought her in the last matchup. Another thing that I don't think we've said yet, correct me if I'm wrong, but she's immune to Incinerate. So when CGR pulls her, she doesn't get incinerated. And more important, I was already playing demons. And so she's a great model on demons, man. She can either sit on the back point and shoot range 4, or a lot of times I put her in the midpoint. And with her in binary, man, even physical attack, she's rolling 5 defense dice. So she's really good with that incinerate immune. But yeah, I played her in my last round against Guardians with CGR, which is she was there for more than just that, but that was the main matchup that I wanted her for. And I wish we had my opponent, who's a wonderful guy, wonderful opponent, on to talk about Carol Danvers, because Black Bolt did nothing in that game. In fact, Black Bolt moved up, shot somebody. CGR then went and killed Black Bolt. So Black Bolt was dazed round 1, and I had to pull some miracle to keep him alive round 2 to get out of the spender. I had to fall back with a comrade's keeper to not get him spendered by CGR to just die. So Black Bolt basically ran around all game trying not to die. And Carol was like, "Hey buddy, don't worry about it. I got this." And she just dunked on. I mean, she dazed, then KO'd Groot. While she was doing that, she finished off Angela. After she did that, she then killed Rocket with one of her energy blasts. I mean, she just dunked on him, and she just sat literally, because Guardians don't have much displacement, obviously. She just sat at the middle of the table and just ran that thing. And it felt so good. I wish I could have played her more, but the matchups just, like I said, I had played a couple Immortal Hulks, and I think I played an A-Force where it just wasn't right for her. But yeah, she was amazing at WTC. I mean, she was amazing in all my practice games. I mean, I'm not just blowing smoke up anybody's, but we'll use that because we may be PG-13. But was really good. I think it has to do somewhat with my affiliation. But yeah, man, she dunked in my WTC game. It was so beautiful to see. Just that beautiful lighted up Captain Marvel just doing work.
What did your opponent? Did your opponent say anything or feel? Or what do you think they said anything about Marvel before or after?
Well, yeah, I mean, you could tell he had no clue, what Captain Marvel even probably did. I mean, in all honesty, he was a very good player and he knew what she did. But after the game, he was like, "Wow, Captain Marvel just absolutely destroyed me." And I was like, "Yeah, man, she really did." And yeah, I mean, those 6 dice reroll alls, they just are good. And when you can keep her in constant binary, and people a lot of times are like, "Well, then she just goes in binary and she can't throw." And that's just not the case when it comes to my experience. And again, a lot of it is clouded because of Inhumans. So Black Bolt is a power battery, so he can just constantly give her power. But I mean, I was usually binarying and then throwing after I do my 2 attacks because I get 2 power right there. So I just needed to be 5 power to go into binary and throw. And with Inhumans, that's possible. And if anybody attacks her, I mean, that's just added power right there. And I mean, I think at one point my opponent had Rocket and he had nobody else in range but Captain Marvel. And he's like, well, I don't know what to do. I guess I'll just shoot Captain Marvel. I'm like, okay, bud. And first attack, he rolls 2 hits. I roll 2 blocks. One of them is a wild, a reverse pierce gain of power. He's like, I guess I got to do it again. I got nothing else. He attacks her again. I roll 2 more wilds. Reverse pierce. Took 2 damage and gained 3 power. And it was just like, yeah, that's easy money with that beautiful angel of MCP.
Yeah, that's incredible. So
that was my WTC experience with her.
yeah, that's amazing. So at the same time, Kurtis and I were both at Second Wind in Chicago, which was a really fun event. And Kurtis, you had the secret spice, is what you were telling me before the event, and telling a few people the secrets that you had discovered, or you and a few other people had discovered. So, what was your experience at the event with Captain Marvel?
Yeah, look, so going into Second Wind in like the last game of TTS, I was just saying I played her. I only figured this out like 2 weeks before Second Wind. I was still trying to figure out what to do about this matchup. And, got sub, I think it was JP Great on Discord, Isaac, who was also at Second Wind, he was suggesting her and ended up bringing her as well. So I said I would shout them out and not take credit for this. So there you go. The last credit you get. So then we played her in my week 6 game, beat Shadow Marvel with it, who couldn't be on stream today but really wanted to also talk about the beating he took with her. And then it was on Research Station, right? So she just kind of stood there, and I'd go win the Research Station and pull it back to where she was, so she could kind of just shoot, throw somebody, gain power from the Hellfire leadership, and heal off. And it was pretty good. So I took her to Second Wind. The night before, I gave, what's Ben saying in the chat? No credit for your boy who told you? No way. Ben didn't tell me to do this. Don't lie to the people, Ben.
Ben is a known liar.
Who's Ben? Who's Ben? Get out of here.
Reverend Right Man. Oh my goodness. Stop lying about this. Oh, whatever. All right, Ben. So anyway, back to the story about me and normal Carol, not Cosmic Carol. She's trash. Anyway, so it's the night before Second Wind. We're drinking at the brewery. I'm convincing all the Montreal guys and Lucas that, Carol is the greatest model to exist and she's the best. And none of them believe me. They don't really know how to play the game there in Montreal. So, they just didn't see it. They didn't get it. Lucas got it. He understood. So
took a couple hours. It
took a couple hours. I actually sent my wife to a different hotel in Chicago, and Lucas came and stayed with me for Second Wind. Sorry, Nick in the chat about the Montreal comment. I don't take it back. So then we get to the morning of Second Wind, and I had heard rumblings from like Mike DeLuca on your WTC team. He says, well, Sooner was saying that he's taking Captain Marvel too, and she's good, and that gave me a lot of confidence. So then that morning, because you were like the same day but a gazillion time zones ahead, Lucas tells me, you're not going to believe this. I'm in the Danger Room chat. You don't even know this. He's like, Sooner just dunked on a Cosmic Ghost Rider player with Captain Marvel, and it's all over the chat right now. So like I got that news the morning of Second Wind before it started. I'm like, this is so great. I am so confident right now. Like this is happening. I just needed some validation. That's all I was looking for, guys. You don't have to make fun of me for this. So yeah, it was wild. So I ended up only taking her once, but it was a Demons game against New Red Skull and Ultron, and I think it's on Vince Kirchhoff's channel. It's in Lucas's stream where. That's where Crimson Dynamo was trying to attack her and had a same moment Sooner you had where, he hits her with 3 hits, including a wild to shock her. And she rolls 2 defense with a wild, reverse pierces the shock, gains a power. And he did that beam twice, did nothing to her, couldn't shock her. And she ended that turn on like 8 power and then basically said, like, you're screwed now, buddy. And she I basically ended that game with her and Bill were each on opposite demon portals, just chucking people off and punching people because they're immune, right? The Hellfire leadership has given me power. And she had a play at the end where she threw a Crimson Dynamo on one into his Winter Soldier. KO's Crimson Dynamo, puts 3 damage into Winter Soldier, shoots him twice in binary form, takes Winter Soldier out, removes all his activations except Bullseye, and win the game. So yeah, I was feeling very, very excited for how that went. And like Suitor, you have no idea the confidence you gave me to slap her on the table, because I'm like, I have no idea if this is good or not. I played like 5 test games and she was great, but yeah, it was pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's that's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I was there, and man, Curtis's face just absolutely lit up when I told him so it was really cool. It's very hype going into second wind, and Curtis ended up pulling up second place in the event, so that's really cool.
Yeah, congrats, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. And I think if I had got demons in the final, it would have been a different story. But I didn't take Carol. You know, he didn't take CGR, and he just played better than me like a big jerk. So, but if we were on demons, we would have had it, man. We would have had it.
Absolutely. Carol would have just ran that board.
Oh, yeah, wouldn't even be close.
Yeah. So, Hyperviper, you had to play Kurtis in the first round of cuts, and you roll Gamma Scrolls.
Yeah.
How are you feeling before the roster drops? Before you see Hellfire there, do you see Carol, or is it just like a blank? He's running 9 characters.
Oh, I don't. I typically don't look at my opponent's list at all. I'm not kidding at all. Like I genuinely like. I know you can, and you can like prep and run practice games and shit. But I think I've done that maybe twice in my life.
Yeah, that sounds like a Hyperviper move to just play your game and not and
I'm
that's
just trying
it.
to play the game. Yeah, no, I got a plan. I know what I want to do. I think the most important part, like an important skill you can learn in this game, is just reacting. Like being able to like if shit goes wrong, like people say, oh, I got spiked off the board, and that totally does happen. But being able to react and like think about the game actively is such an important skill. No, I don't make an Excel spreadsheet in chat. Yeah, no, I don't prep for shit. So yeah, I think I played Hellfire like twice. So I knew what all the characters could do because Hellfires, you just take all the cool stuff and you're like, oh, I want to play this, I want to play this. And Carol, I was like, oh, okay, he's playing Carol. I think I've heard something about DeLuca's one of my locals, so I knew that Carol was getting some love. Well, like, not really my local, but local enough. But yeah, so I saw Incinerate immune models. I figured, okay, so I'm going to go up on points because I'm playing Fury. He's going to be able to come into me. So I just need to sit here with Fury and Zemo and kill everything. But the problem was the people who he put on the center of the board were Luke Cage, Lizard, Carol, and Bill. And then he had Emma Frost and Toad chilling in the back because it was 20, right? So he has this really durable wall, not just of Carol, but of like damage immune characters or Bill himself. So I was like, oh, okay, none of these characters are holding anything, and they're stopping me from scoring, because like all of his points are on the back of the board. More or less. I think someone had a cube. I think it might have been Lizard. But either way, it basically like, so my choices, because what CGR wants to be doing every turn is moving and killing something, right? Or not moving or killing something. He just wants to incinerate someone, he wants to kill them immediately, he wants to be dead. And when no one's doing anything for objectives, all you're really doing is thinning out your opponent's team. This game's 6 rounds long, right? Like, you really just need to be able to stick around for like a round. Realistically, you need to not die immediately, and if you don't die immediately, he has to make you die slower, and then he's doing less in the game. So yeah, when one of your targets has reverse pierce and is very dangerous because she's the same range as all of your guns, but she will hit them harder and not get hit by them with her little reroll shenanigans. So you can't really want to attack her because you can't incinerate her, you're not going to kill her, and you give her power to go binary. So I've heard a lot of time people say like Hulk is like unreactable, and now we're at a point where like I don't think I've seen a Hulk in top cuts, because there are other crazier things running around. So 20 health is like pretty much unkillable, right? That's like a big wall for most characters to break. But now we have someone like Ghost Rider, or we have someone like Carol, where if you can't kill them, they're gonna do more damage to you than you were able to put into them. and that's scary. So yeah, it's just kind of a wall.
Yeah, so Kurtis, when you got the setup, Gamma Scrolls, I think it was, and was it like what was your roster picking? Were you like you knew you're dropping Carol because it's knee shape? Like, what were you thinking going into that match there?
Yeah, well, at that point, like, I was riding the confidence of the world. There was no way I was not dropping Carol on that setup. It's like, look, it's Mappy, it's Guardians. This is what's happening. We're not hesitating this time. I think I picked 20 points because really because you know Guardians usually wants to go lower points, and I wanted to have a lot of models on the board. And with Scrolls, I wanted to have some different people grabbing stuff, like Toad grabbing a back point and piecing out there. But really, it was like, let's just throw as many beefy models as I can. And, if anybody comes near me, like throwing Cosmic Ghost Rider backwards into Star-Lord over and over again, or having Emma shooting Bill where he can't react and can't brace and can't damage reduction. Like the team becomes fairly efficient at actually killing the Guardians other than CGR. And then you kind of just hope that you can score enough points. Basically hope to just score enough points to ride it out. And it worked because Carol had a pretty good game, but I think it's the redundancy of having Carol and Bill, where they're both so good at throwing CGR back into models and shooting the kind of wimps on the back line that Guardians brings from range 4. That it's just really hard when you can only maybe kill one of them, and you're spending a lot of time just killing Luke Cage or Lizard instead. And CGR, if you only bring one counter, he's going to kill them and then you have nothing. So being able to bring multiple really good options, it's like, well, unless you have the most heroic dice of your life, it's just going to be way too hard to chew through, and they can really hit you back.
Nice. So that was a pretty sweet game. Hyperviper put on his YouTube channel, and I got to clip it for the trailer. And that was a really cool. Even though she didn't go too crazy, right? She wasn't hitting as many of those gainer attacks as you were in that Red Skull game. But yeah, exactly what you said. She's doing everything she needed. She did everything she needed to get the win. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like the thing with Carol. Oh, go ahead, Hyper.
Oh, I was just saying, I felt like she did a lot, even in my game.
She just does a lot. I mean, you're taking a character. I mean, everybody knows Bill's good, but I think people know Bill is good because you can take him on wide stuff because he's mobile and he has a safe grab and all those fun things. But if you put Carol on an E shape where her mobility doesn't matter, and she's in somewhere where she can get in binary form and be pretty darn tanky and take a bunch of energy attacks, like she basically becomes another Bill, except with a way better attack that's free. And like, I don't exaggerate when I say that. In the right situation, I think she's just better than him. And she's not an every game character, but when she gets on demons or she gets on Gamma Researcher and can just sit there and shoot people and throw people, she puts a lot of damage through.
Yeah, we talk a lot about her being in binary, which obviously you want to get her in binary as much as you can. But I mean, sometimes people will just ignore her, and so you just use the throw. You don't even binary her, and you just use the size 4 throw. I mean, it's incredibly valuable having a character who can throw size 4. For instance, in my Inhumans list. Black Bolt can do it with the spender, but outside of that, I got no other size 4 throw. And so just having a model who can do that is just value in itself.
Yeah. It really bugs me when, it's like, oh, she has no action economy. Like, that's everyone's favorite word. But like, if you can walk and throw a size 4 at somebody or throw a size 4 character into someone else, I mean, it's like 5 successes. It's like what, a 9 dice attack on average. Like, if you can do that and displace people and, take another shot after that, I mean, it's crazy. Like, she's the only size 4 that can do that other than Bill and Black Dwarf at 4 threat. I mean, it's just, the value you get out of her is crazy. and we'll talk about it in a bit. I mean, she's not an every game character or probably an every affiliation character, but I mean, when she gets in the right spot, she's really good.
This is heresy. You're saying she's not. I shouldn't put her in every single one of my lists. What are you talking about?
You can. I honestly think you can almost put her in every list at this point, just because Guardians are so popular.
She's a great counterpick,
that's
right?
all
Yeah.
wrong. Yeah, I mean, I think if you have a 10th spot you're looking to fill, and you're probably never going to play that character, put Captain Marvel in there for when you do play Guardians, because you will, and they're going to be good when you play them. So,
and honestly, even when it's not Guardians, the amount of Crimson Dynamo and Bill that show up in like every roster that's taking demons, I mean, all they do is throw long range energy attacks, right? Like that's their game. And being able to take Dynamo and either shoot him from outside of range 4, reverse pierce all of his attacks, like, and throw him as a size 3 into teammates and out of range 3 of all your other models, like that's a ton of value. And if you just ignore binary form on her card and say she's got a size 4 throw and a really strong, 4 dice reroll attack from range, I think you're right. She can do a lot even without the power generation. It just takes her over the top when she has a way to funnel it to her.
Yeah, with the Crimson Dynamo not being able to displace her too, like that's like one of her weaknesses, or like having like she's obviously much better when she can just turret. So it's a perfect. I think that's a really strong counter pick there. And Bill, like you see a lot of players, eyes on the prize. Bill, grab a piece, go back. Round 2, they're on 2 power. Okay, what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna move and shoot my Bill gun, and then all right, next round I'm back on 2 power again. What am I gonna do? Move and shoot my Bill gun. So you just get into this pattern, this round after round pattern with Bill, where you're just like moving and shooting your gun, and instead of using your size 4 throw, you kind of get trapped in that cycle, and if she's the one taking those hits, then that's like almost always great for her. So yeah, that's I can see that being like super strong in any list. I know that like back when the errata hit for her, and she got the reduction in cost on her spend on her powers, and
Or binary, yeah.
yeah, her binary. She was seeing a few Web Warrior players picked her up, and that being able to reroll that skull on that attack is huge. So I think that's like, even though you're not getting any extra power there, Web's already tight on power. Just like that extra ability to reroll your skulls, it does I think that's pretty significant for her damage output.
Yeah, definitely. So do we want to talk about that next? Like, we played her in Inhumans and Hellfire. What are some other places that we think OG Carol Danvers is like the best model in the game? And we just got to do a quick wife check. Lucas, are you okay? Second beer, you're good. You're feeling all right?
Yeah,
we're gonna get Lucas as drunk as he's ever been in his life.
all right. Here we
Oh,
go.
man.
Here we go.
I just said what I was hearing. That was
Lucas
great.
is going binary tonight.
I look at my face is already yeah, that's right. Oh man. Yeah, you know what? I bet Captain Marvel's pretty good under Steve with a hammer, right? What do you think, Kurtis?
Oh, wow.
Hey, you know what? I was telling Sir Grum today here, who's calling me handsome. Appreciate it, buddy. I was telling him today, I've been eyeing up, OG Steve Rogers list with like Bill, Captain Marvel, Voodoo, and like Luke Cage on demons. Like everybody's immune. Incinerate doesn't matter. Like I don't know. I'll believe anything is good now with Captain Marvel on demons. Like, it just sounds like there's a lot of different ways to do it. I made a big list of like all the possible power leaderships in the game, and I'm just staring at it like, where can Captain Marvel go? Put Bill in. It's just, yeah, I keep looking at it and thinking, everybody's just throwing Crimson Dynamo into their list. I'm like, why not just throw in Captain Marvel? She's so much better than him.
I'll say this. A big problem for Dynamo is that unless you're playing Winter Guard, you are likely playing an E if you're bringing Dynamo. You do not have to be playing E for Captain Marvel. She's not slow. She can just like be another double move throw bot, right? That is not bad. I don't know if this is entirely correct in saying, But and again, like correct me if I'm wrong. Size 4 superpower throw is the best power in the game, right?
Yeah.
That's an
May
amazing.
possibly be, yeah.
Like I'm racking my brain trying to think like, what would I rather see printed on a card that I know I want to play besides pay X power, make anyone who's not a sentinel go away?
Damage
And also,
reduction, yeah, damage reduction may beat it, but size 4 throw is pretty sweet.
size 4 throw is really, really good. And some kind of defensive tech like damage reduction or reverse pierce, which mathematically are not that different. It's scary to look at. I mean, obviously one is better than the other. And I'm going to really let you imagine which one it is, but it's closer than you would think. It is really, really like size 4 superpower throw is one of the best abilities in the game. Black Dwarf doesn't see a lot of play, but I do see him every once in a while. And I'll tell you, every character in this game, theoretically, like on paper, in a tier list, whatever, is trash. And then you play them in a game, and you remember, oh fuck, this is MCP where dice are like a huge factor. And this character may have some funky dice shit. Like maybe they can reroll all, which is second only to maybe like count blanks in terms of offensive disgustingness, right? So yeah, she's just got a lot in her kit. And like my original point was, Dynamo, you're playing on E's. You can play Carol on a B or like an F. What you think you don't want like a double move size 4 throw off a 4 threat on like Scoundrels or Infinity Formula? Hell yeah, you do. What's Dynamo gonna do there?
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, Dynamo is a great character. We all know that. He's really good on an E, but he's very pillow fisted. I mean, his job is not to do. I mean, he just keeps you alive, which is great, and it works very well. But I mean, Carol kills stuff. So I mean, it's a big difference. She has displacement, which he does not have. So I mean, there's a lot to like there over, who most people widely think of as maybe the best character in the game as an E specialist. So yeah, I mean, Carol is she's good, and you look at a lot of affiliations that play demons downtown: Guardians of the Galaxy, X Force, Inhumans. These teams all rely on shooting with energy, or like X Force and Guardians, they have little displacement. I mean, I know obviously you can splash whatever you want, but if you look in affiliation, they don't have a whole lot of displacement. And I mean, that's right up Carol's alley.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I think too what I'm learning is when you're playing a scenario team usually and you end up with, a really fast extract and you've got your opponent's demons or gamma, whatever it is, like you don't really want to throw a bunch of spray damage into a bunch of characters and give a lot of people power like Dynamo does. Like I know there's teams that really like that. They like putting out the shock. And it doesn't mean like Dynamo's bad. But like you said with Carol, she can pick a target and say, you're going to eat a size throw and a bunch of range 4, reroll all attacks, whether it's 4 dice or 6. I mean, she's taking a lot of stuff out. And I think that, like, for my play style, I mean, I'm going to get made fun of in the chat for saying this, but if I'm doing any attrition, it's like I want to kill one specific model. I don't want to power up a bunch of people. My advantage is Hellfire is that like I get more power and more tempo than you. And so just having a character that's so good at taking out individual characters, like if I'm playing Ben, who's making fun of me in the chat, it's like, let's throw Juggernaut into his Magneto and see what happens. Let's keep shooting him up with energy and see what happens. Let's toss Magneto away because he's a really bad character, and anyone who plays Magneto doesn't know how to play the game.
Curtis, sorry. I remember. I think you're an attrition player, right? Didn't your Black Widow do something to Ben's characters? I forget what happened. Your Black Widow did something, right?
Yeah, that's right. I remember the first TTS league I played against Ben, and he had, was it a Scarlet Witch and a Magneto, and my Black Widow spendered each of them and did enough damage to daze both of them on the final turn of the game. Do you remember that, Ben? I think you remember that.
2-threat Widow.
Oh, 2-threat Widow. Yeah, we weren't messing around. I mean, if if you say I'm not an attrition player, you got to watch that game.
Yeah, that was an incredible attrition effort there. Your 2 threat wiping out 11 threat of models.
But hey, this isn't about Two Throat Widow. This is about the best model in the game being celebrated. And I think that the spirit of taking a model that's been written off has been there in the core set the entire time. And I think seeing like two players independently taking her to 2 big tournaments is like, this is a tech piece that's actually really good. I just think that's really cool. Lucas, are you muted or what?
I'm dealing with some personal issues.
No, okay.
Oh, Lucas is just dealing with his wife in the chat right now. Oh boy. So is
Lucas
Ben.
is
My
spinning.
goodness.
His head is spinning. He doesn't really know. That fan that's up above him, it's going really fast right now, so he doesn't know.
Hyper, you got to take over as host of this before Lucas passes out. Like, it's just
I can keep talking
unreliable
about
at this point.
You know what? We're with it. Yeah, okay. What were we talking about? We were talking about how the dynamo
God.
comparison, right? No. I'm on this. You're right. I want to harken back to a point you just made about how, like, yes, dynamo 5-die attacks with shock. That's great. You can shock a bunch of people. Okay, so they're gonna do less damage. Okay, you know what does the least damage? Dead people. What if you killed them with a gun? A gun named Captain Marvel. Like, we're talking about action compression. Size 4 throw is action compression. As a what's the word I'm looking for? As a noted Fury enjoyer, 4 dice with a reroll is sick. You put 4 dice with infinite rerolls, that's incredibly sick. What are you talking about? You kidding me? 4 dice with a million rerolls. If he gets a crit, that's like 27 dice. You can't allow that. A 4 threat killing you. What? So you're playing one of these gods, right? One of these quote unquote gods of MCP, the characters that everyone complains about. You're playing as the Malekith, with his Pierce or whatever. You're playing as the Immortal Hulk. Don't worry about that one. He's actually not real. You play as the regular Hulk. You play as Beta Ray Bill. You play, and again, I don't know if he should really be up there, but you play as like CGR, the guy, right? You have 18 bajillion offensive rerolls. You count blanks and skulls, and you, if people come up to you in a gaming store and they're like, "I want to play a friendly board game with you," like, what if you died? What if you're one of those characters? Captain Marvel is a character you don't want to deal with. Sorry.
We lost Lucas. We lost.
Is he gonna make it?
I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I just needed
Sorry.
a minute. Yeah.
I'm looking at their chat. Okay, so hold on. You know what we can do here that's really fun? We have this bingo board. A bunch of shit has already been said. Let's crack a couple of these off. I mean, the CGR one was like our free space. If you didn't go for that one, I don't know what you're doing.
All right,
I think we've hit them all. We've hit them all. I think, man. Kurtis, you love certain types of leaderships.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, playing Captain Marvel under a power leadership. I mean, all I do is play power leaderships, right? It's A-Force, it's whatever I'm playing now, Hellfire. That's the one. Yeah, love those power leaderships. Size 4 throw, Beta Ray Bill. Have we talked about her gainer? All right. Have we talked about her gainer?
Yeah,
have we talked about how anti-meta she is? I'm
done. I am done. I physically cannot handle more.
Actually, Vodka Blitz in the chat. The level of entertainment we get from Ashley Sheik and Lucas Sheik, I normally have to pay for. Is that like an OnlyFans thing you pay for, or
wow.
what are we talking about there?
This is a chance.
Are you watching
the money,
Twitch?
This is your chance, man. You charge a lot of money.
Oh man. Okay.
Vodka will pay. I know we will.
He knows a customer when he sees him. You know what we didn't talk about is the Marvels. Did anyone see that movie?
What movie? What movie?
The Marvels, the one that we're doing.
Nah.
Are you sure?
I mean, I'll go see it.
You should go see it right now.
I don't think I could get there.
No, it's not. You're not gonna get there. Someone else is gonna get you there. You see, this is how it works.
Ashley will drive you. No big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like based on the chat, Lucas needs his Crew of the Milano right now, but he's playing CGR with webs and he doesn't have that card. So
Dude, that was
yeah,
okay. Can we
I
talk
think
about
he's
that?
in a bit of trouble.
I want to talk about both your games that happened this week. I saw what looked like a very dominant performance, but I was skipping around for both of them. Got turned into a Thanos reality smashing, and I'm like, damn, maybe you don't play CGR, maybe you just play Thanos. This looks like fun. But then I saw Beta Rebuild dead, and I said, no, this game looks boring. Anyway, and then we went on to Lucas's game. You're playing CGR with webs? Come on, man, you're better than that.
Um.
Oh, he's not.
I
No.
I'm
no.
I'm
He's-
I'm petty. I'm petty, and that's it. That's it. Super petty. Want to play webs because webs are better than guardians, and that's it. I don't want to say more than that. CGR is just like a souped up Gwen, and I will always play broken models. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. I'm not a good person, and that's it.
Yeah, we were out for dinner at the night of second win. It was like myself and Lucas and Isaac and Vince. And we're like, hey, remember that time that Malekith got his, I think it was like his first or second nerf. There's been so many. He got his power thing, his ferocity changed to 3 power. And we're sitting there like, yeah, Lucas, didn't you go on Danger Room? Like, weren't you the guy that's like, yeah, just play him with Red Skull and Mystique? And we're like, man, like, you literally ruined the game for like a good year with that list. And basically, I think this whole like Lucas streaming all these things, jumping on the Carol bandwagon, like it's really just a PR move to try to get himself like back into the community's favor after almost like killing the game for a year. So,
But
yeah, I don't know.
you
That's
tell
my
me,
theory.
telling me Mystique Deception was his fault.
He was the one who came up with the list to have Red Skull 2 go up, Eyes on the Prize something, send a power to Mystique and Malika so we can charge around and play Mystique with Deception with Mal. That was all Lucas's list. The receipts are there. It was a Danger Room Christmas episode. And yeah, it was all on him ruining the game.
Yeah, man, you
I
got
mean,
Deception banned. That's so mean to Mystique, dude. How do you feel about that?
I think that I might have been the first one on a podcast to say it. That's probably it. But it was like it was just like a necessity, basically. We're like super off topic here, but
No, we're very on topic.
Yeah,
Reverend
Meta.
Rightmad in the chat, Ben, I want to know your opinion of Lucas getting not only Deception but also Follow Me banned. I know that was a big thing in your Magneto list, and you've been lost ever since. So I just want to see your thoughts in the chat when you get a minute on it all being Lucas's fault.
yeah, I mean, he pretty much, I mean, Malekith was, has had probably about 17 nerfs, and 16 out of 17 are because of Lucas. So, yeah, I mean, no one plays Malekith anymore. Like, do you have anything to say for yourself, Lucas? I mean, he's a cool model. Man.
yeah, I mean, you guys are welcome for me getting those nerfs and saving the game long. I was thinking long term when I was crushing people with Malekith. Okay.
Actually, you know what? It wasn't just Malekith. You know what else Lucas screwed up? He's the reason the TTS cuts are open rosters now.
Oh my god, I hate this man. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that was him too.
No.
You're the source of all of my
that's what
problems.
happens when you run 7,000 practice games before you play your opponent, and you
Yeah,
have a
that was Lucas
spreadsheet
too.
with a PowerPoint. We have validated that. His wife has validated that he had a PowerPoint with spreadsheets of his games.
Yeah, a
He's the opposite
PowerPoint
of
with
me.
Yeah,
spreadsheets.
she put it in
That's-
chat.
Oh my god, yes. It's in chat. Hello? Where?
Oh, it was a little bit back. She was ratting me out, but yeah, I mean, it did.
Post it again.
It was a problem. It was a problem. I'm in rehab.
Lucas-
For the over analytic prep work I did for season 8 and 10.
Wow. So
yeah.
Lucas, like literally, he's probably doing all this Twitch stuff to try. Like what you guys don't know, this is actually a fundraiser to pay for Lucas's Microsoft Office suite. You know, if we've got Excel sheets and PowerPoints, I mean, that's not cheap. Like that's like $180 a year. So I think if anyone has any spare change for Lucas to to make sure that Ashley and the kids can continue eating and he's not just spending all his money and time on this game and Microsoft Office subscriptions. Really appreciate that donation.
So am I hearing that you're in rehab? So that means you're not doing it anymore. You're not making spreadsheets anymore. Is that what I'm hearing?
Open rosters. You have to make the spreadsheet for 32 different affiliations now.
Sooner Open Rosters is saying the problem is that a lot of the Top Cut games have been recorded and people are hesitant to change their rosters. So I had to return my chip in. And I am only a few days sober because I did do prep work for Shane's for the match. I did it with the webs.
Is that why you were playing Guardian?
I did prep.
Guardian.
I did prep
CGR?
against. I did prep against Shane's list significantly, and yeah. I mean, that's just. Man, if you give me a list, if you tell me I'm gonna play a list against a list, I'm gonna tech for it, and. If that means I'm playing CGR against CGR on Demons, I will slot Carol Danvers in that 10th spot.
All right, you've heard it here first. Carol Danvers in Lucas's supposed Web Warriors list.
If I hold on, if I play against DM Lord, if I'm paired against him next round, I will promise Carol Danvers is in my 10. Okay.
Wow.
He said, "I'll promise."
It doesn't take a spreadsheet to know that. Okay.
Come on. Like, we've done all the hard work on this, and if you win the TTS League on the back of Sooner and I's contribution to this game, I mean, all the power to you. You do play the most broken stuff, so I think it's only natural that Carol goes in your list.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing, though. I do respect a man who plays only broken stuff, but he just admits he only plays all the broken stuff. So I gotta respect it.
Real sees real.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. I hope this stream has convinced people to give Captain Marvel a try. A real effort, especially with the meta monster that is the Guardians team.
And look, all I'll say for anybody who's following along at home, having a small base, medium move is definitely an asset. Being Incinerate immune and a reroll 6 dice reroll any, I think we've got it covered. So cheers, maybe a final cheers to the best model in the game.
I'll put my hands up for that. Yeah.
OG Carol Danvers. And look, putting it out there, we can literally never play this new format because the best Carol is not a part of it.
There's no Carol, bro. That's what I'm saying. How do you like this new format? They got some cool choices. There's no Carol.
All right.
There's even a Magneto in there.
Cheers, cheers, guys. All right, thanks for the awesome stream, and thanks for everyone who tuned in. And we'll catch you in the next one, I guess. All right. Have a good night, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.